Alrighty, and welcome back to a quick episode of Seminole Sunlight 365. Once again, I am KB. I am without the old man tonight, as this is a kind of an on-demand recording, so you'll be watching a replay of this. So it's not live as we normally do, but it is portal season. There is a lot going on. So we're going to be trying to do these little bite-sized pieces and news nuggets as things come in. Because it is a busy time of the year and you guys are busy. You can't be checking Twitter all day. I can't be checking Twitter all day at work. It is very distracting. It's almost more distracting than during kind of the regular recruiting with high school. It's actually kind of more exciting. So I'm trying to keep you guys up to date. I'm trying to stay up to date at the same time. The old man is out celebrating a special occasion for him. So I'm here to give you a quick update of what's been going on. And tonight we're just going to be discussing quickly some of the roster losses that Florida State has taken over the past couple of days. So we're recording this on 12/6, so December 6th, Tuesday. So the portal's only been open for a couple of days, but Florida State has already lost 5 players from their roster. So if you haven't heard, Sam McCall is in the portal. Defensive tackle Jarrett Jackson, Chambray Jackson are both in the portal. Those were announced a couple of days ago, so those shouldn't have come as a surprise, same as Sam McCall. And then additionally, you had Amari Gainer join the portal, which is a big surprise. I shouldn't say big surprise. I would say it's not a total surprise. Amari only played in 7 games this season. He had an early season injury and really never found his footing. I mean, he came into the season as the active tackles leader at Florida State, for his career, which is nothing to scoff at. I mean, this guy, by all means, was very well respected in the locker room. One of those culture guys who's been here for 5 seasons. He was here, came in with the Willie Taggart era. Came in that 2018, I believe it was. ACC honor roll for 3 straight years through 2021, Badly Bound Leadership Award, 193 tackles coming into this season. Like I said, which puts him right up there as a key contributor. But this season, he just got buried in the depth, which is a good thing for Florida State that you guys can cover for him. You brought some guys in that could replace that kind of production. But unfortunately for him, coming off that injury, he just couldn't find the playing time that he wanted. And by all means, he was a cultural pillar in that locker room, the type of leader that Mike Norvell wanted to keep from the Willie Taggart recruits, right? This is a guy that, even though he wasn't playing, every game, the reps he probably wanted to or thought he deserved, he was still a positive influence on that locker room, didn't drag it down. So if you've seen on Twitter all the positive outpouring of support, you saw Coach Mike Norvell, post about him and give his blessing to him leaving, finding, ensuring that hopefully he goes out there and finds the best position for him. I'm going to pull up that tweet real quick, because I think it's special that when you see a coach do something like this, you don't see it often. This is how it should be done, is that you're wishing the best. You want players to go for the right reasons. And this is an example of that Amari puts out a great statement like this, thanking his brothers at the university, all the support he got from fans and all the staff, stuff like that. I mean, this is the perfect example of how to go out. And then you have Coach Mike, along with other players and coaches, do the same thing of retweet this and put their own statement of how big of an asset he was to this program as a leader and taking instruction. And it wasn't just on the field, it was off the field, of being an off-field leader for this team and helping to mature some of those younger folks that were being brought in as well. So, Amari, we want to, we hope you land somewhere great and you get the time that you deserve. So, a great movement there. And we're, started to see him go, but I think it's the best for him. And that's why Mike is so transparent in this process of getting guys in and out, because he wants what's best for them ultimately. And I think this is a good move for both parties. On the other side of things, like we mentioned, another key leader in my eyes who is leaving is Keyshawn Helton. As you may have seen already, it kind of broke earlier today, I believe it was. Keyshawn Helton put out a statement that he is going to be also entering the portal. I mean, he was brought in once again, a Willie Taggart recruit out of Pensacola. You know, he had some great games. You know, battled through some injuries. You always thought, okay, this is going to be the season. This is going to be the season. But he had to fight through so much adversity at his time through Florida State. And then this year, he never was able to get on the field back from that injury, but he still stuck with the process. If you ever followed him on Twitter, everything was positive. You saw him on the sidelines. He's always cheering on the other players that were actually on the field, able to contribute. But his contribution, once again, was in the locker room, was off the field, was being on this team when it was 5-7 his freshman year, as he says in a statement, all the way to now when it's 9-3. He's probably learned so many different lessons and matured in that process. And he's been able to give those lessons to some of the younger guys who are still going to face adversity, right? And I think the lessons and the foundational, and that's the reason why Mike had someone like Keyshawn stick around during his 3-year tenure here so far, is because he knew what kind of special guy that Keyshawn was. And Keyshawn's one of those foundational pieces, like I said, that builds a culture and makes a team great, that makes a team go from 5-7 to 9-3. Because they contribute off. They keep people in line. They keep people accountable. They drive people in practice. It's the little things that make a team great. And I think Keyshawn is a great example of that. So once again, I think it's hard to lose a leader like that in the locker room, but it's what's best for him as a player to go find playing time somewhere so he can do what he loves doing, which is playing. And it also frees up a spot for another playmaker at Florida State who can continue to drive practice and get on the field. So once again, I think this is great. And you saw a lot of outpouring support for Keyshawn and everything he's done for this program. So we're all happy for him. Keyshawn, you'll always be a Seminole in our eyes, and really excited for the next steps in your journey. So, and that's why this is titled Florida State Loses Two Great Leaders, because I think Amari and Keyshawn their contribution to this team is not seen on the field. It's seen behind the scenes, in the locker room, in the classroom, keeping kids accountable, keeping their teammates accountable, especially the younger guys, especially the new guys who are coming in from the transfer portal over the last couple of years, making sure they keep what Mike Norvell is instilling and keeping them on track. So, like I said, you guys will be missed. As for the other guys who have entered the portal, I don't think there's any surprises there in terms of losing guys like Chambray. Chambray is a guy I wish we could have kept. I think he was a high potential guy that just wasn't able to break into the defensive line rotation, because you have a lot of talent there and you've brought in a lot of talent on the transfer portal side. So it's unfortunate that he's leaving and wasn't stuck around. But once again, it could have been one of those things where, Norvell says to him, hey, we got some depth here. We're going to look to additionally add to it from the transfer portal, and it's best for you to go. So I think that was probably a mutual departure there. And I think, once again, that'll probably be great for both sides, because Chambray is still a young man that has plenty of years of eligibility left on him. So I think now it's better for him to go than waiting around potentially. But yeah, that's really the updates. Only five players so far have been jumped in the portal so far for Florida State, which is a surprisingly low number. And I think it speaks to a couple of things. One, a lot of players want to stay with Florida State because they see the trajectory of this program. Now, there's still 45 days left in the transfer portal window. So there's still a lot of times left for people to jump in. But I think, like I said before, I think Mike Norvell and the staff are very transparent with the players on this team of where they are, where they stand, and what they're going to have to do to get playing time on this team, and who they're going to be looking to bring in at different positions. But for only 5 players so far to jump in, I think it's a very positive sign of players being bought in and wanting to compete for time. Now, that's not to say I do expect more players to hit the portal this week, and I think they're going to be pushed to hit the portal this week because they want as many available open spots to offer to other transfer portal kids. There's 1,000 plus, it seems like 5,000 plus kids in the portal right now. There's at least 1,000 confirmed kids in the portal right now. So there's a lot of players to sift through, but Mike and the guys have their targets in mind. They want as many of those spots opened up to offer as possible. So I expect by Friday or Wednesday when we do our show that there'll be a couple more guys from FSU in the portal and ready to go. But I think it's a positive sign that only 5 so far have entered because guys have bought in and they want to be part of the climb and be part of the progress here at Florida State. So that's going to do it all for tonight. Join us tomorrow, Wednesday, December 7th. We're going to do a live show. We're going to talk through who are the targets that Florida State is going after? Who are they looking to pursue? And who has already made hints about coming to Florida State? So we're going to look at the target board, who they've offered, who they're going after, and who do you think Florida State should be going after in the transfer portal. So join us tomorrow. And if you're watching this, please like the video, subscribe, join us on our next upcoming live show. So follow the channel, subscribe, hit the notification button so you see when we go live. And guys, we'll see you soon. Take care, be safe, and keep warm. Bye-bye.